So this is a pinnacle of training. This is as complicated as we can make training to be.
It's one of the largest and most complex live fire exercises ever held in Denmark. Dynamic Front 23 brought together artillery units from across NATO, here to train together, coordinating their various guns to rain fire on a fictional enemy.
Because it is multinational with the different assets from the artillery and the mortars coming from different countries coming together. The planes are being flown by different countries. We've had 2 different warships off the coast today, fully integrated in what we're doing, trying to mesh that together. And the live firing really demonstrates that we have got that synchronisation correct and that we can employ this at a time and space of our choosing.
The exercise took place in the vast Oksbøl training area on Denmark's west coast. Artillery and mortars from France, Poland, the US and Denmark, along with naval gunfire, plus Danish and American fast jets.
So at one level, of course, this whole exercise is about interoperability, about NATO demonstrating its posture of defence and deterrence. But on an individual national level, this sends a very strong message to Russia. Countries like Poland, France and of course Denmark showing off some of the weapon systems that they're sending to Ukraine and sending a message that this flow of firepower isn't stopping anytime soon.
Around 1,500 miles to the east, Ukrainian forces are using many of these systems for real. Poland has given 18 of these Crab howitzers to Ukraine and ordered 48 more for itself. US HIMARS rocket artillery was here too, the system Ukraine has used to wreak havoc on Russia's supply lines. Elsewhere on the range, the US Army's 2nd Cavalry Regiment with its British-designed M777 howitzer. America's sent 126 of these to Kyiv, along with 200,000 rounds of ammunition. First Lieutenant Alexandria Pardew is 24 and a fire direction officer, responsible for the calculations that help these guns hit their targets.
We work out of the Fire Direction Center, which we call the FDC. We're normally tucked a couple meters or a couple hundred meters behind the gun line, under some cover. We'll get a call for fire from the observers. They'll send us a grid, any munitions that they request, and altitude. From there, we'll do the calculations and we'll get the firing commands, which is the deflection and quadrant. Those are sent digitally from our system to the guns here. It comes through a radio, and then all of that stuff will pop up on their CSD and on the howitzer.
Golf Echo 20.
While the British Army doesn't have any guns on this exercise, it does have gunners here. Next year, 4th Regiment Royal Artillery will form part of NATO's Very High Readiness Joint Task Force.
We as a regiment provide the fires capability of that, which we will be working with other nations, including the Spanish and the Greeks. So this provides the perfect opportunity to work with those other nations to utilise their fires and prove that we can get fires from any nation. We can process them and we can get them engaged regardless of who sees them and who's firing them.
Airspace clear, fire!
The exercise in Oksbøl was run by the Allied Rapid Reaction Corps, known as the ARC. Next door, a multinational field artillery brigade, or FAB, controls the guns. With the ARC has come a team of support staff, including medic Corporal Kayla Charles.
Originally, I'm a Commonwealth soldier, so I am from a Caribbean island called Dominica. I moved to the UK. I joined the military in 2013, so I've been in just over 10 years. My first unit, I did a lot of skiing, which is quite nice. Did a few deployments, and then I moved to Gloucester. I joined the ARC, and I've been there since 2017, which has been very exciting.
Also here was French artillery. Paris has sent 30 of these Caesar howitzers to Ukraine. Denmark too operates this weapon and has pledged to give Ukraine its entire stock of 19 Caesars. In their place, the Danish brought their Cardon 10, a 120mm heavy mortar mounted on a Piranha 5 chassis. While there's no mention of Russia on this exercise, what's happening in Ukraine clearly adds a focus to this training, a conflict that's reshaping European defence.
Absolutely, it is real to everyone. Who would have thought there'd be conflict within Europe? But that's the situation we find ourselves in. The important thing that we do is we bolster NATO. We're ready to deploy as NATO requires. Whatever those orders are, we know that we can rapidly deploy throughout Europe and conduct those activities.
If NATO ever did go to war, Denmark would be one of the entry points for troops entering Europe. With the war in Ukraine dominated by artillery duels, these Western weapons are crucial to Kyiv. This exercise a chance for these NATO nations to practice large-scale artillery operations and demonstrate the systems that are so vital to Ukraine's survival. Simon Newton, Forces News, Oksbøl Training Area in Denmark.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.